Everything seemed quiet during my night shift, until I heard footsteps coming from the hallway of an abandoned hospital. I worked as a night guard in an old abandoned hospital, used only for storing outdated medical equipment. The place was huge, with dark hallways and empty rooms filled with rusty beds and stretchers covered in dust. The poor lighting made the corridors even darker and more frightening. Before I accepted the job, I heard many stories about the hospital. People said some patients had died under strange circumstances, especially on the top floor, where the psychiatric ward used to be. One of the patients lived in constant fear, saying they were coming. He was later found dead in his bed, eyes wide open in terror. During my first week, I heard noises coming from the main hallway, dragging footsteps, like someone walking barefoot. I checked the security cameras, but there was nothing there. When I went to check in person, the sound stopped. I decided to let it go. But after that, things only got worse. One night, while doing my rounds, I passed by the old room of the terrified patient. The door, which I was sure I had left closed, was now open. A cold draft blew past me, carrying a strong smell of something rotten. I walked in with my flashlight in hand, heart pounding. The room looked the same as always, except the stretcher had moved on its own. It was now in the middle of the room. I was terrified. Then I heard a whisper, "They took me." I ran. The next night, I heard banging on the walls. These weren't the normal creaks of an old building. They were heavy, deliberate thuds coming from the floor above. I went up to check, but the hallway was empty. The lights were flickering and the cold was suffocating. When I passed the old exam room, something slammed violently against the door from the inside, as if someone was trying to get out. I ran back to the security room as fast as I could. The occurrences only got worse. Doors would slam shut on their own. And one night, when I looked into the window's reflection, I saw the silhouette of a thin man, head lowered, standing right behind me. When I turned around, no one was there, but the glass started to fog up as if someone was breathing on it. And then words began to appear. "I'm not alone." After that, I decided I would never go back to that hospital. I left without telling anyone. The next day, I got a call from the person in charge of the building. Did something happen? I simply said, "I'm not going back there." And I don't think the next guard will last long either. On the other end of the line, there was silence, followed by a low chuckle, but it wasn't the manager's voice. The call disconnected right after. The hospital is still there, abandoned, waiting for its next guard.